Yay, yay. Mm-hmm. Welcome to Getcha Popcorn Ready podcast. It's your host, Hatch is in the building. T, you in the building today, baby?
Yes, sir. I'm always in the building. When you can't see me, I'm still here. When you hear me, you know I'm here. Get your popcorn ready all day.
I think for some reason we always hear you, dog. Always.
That's all right.
Hey, and don't forget to subscribe on the Himalaya app or ever get your podcast.
Yep. And definitely, if you want to hear the audio version of this, definitely tune in. Check that Himalaya app out. Subscribe, swipe, share. But if you want to see the beautiful faces with these voices, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Go to youtube.com/TerrellOwens.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shoot, this week on Get Your Popcorn Ready podcast, we're going to talk a little NBA, right? We got the bubble. We got the playoffs coming up. We got the bubble. We got playoffs now. Mitch Richmond, the Hall of Famer, right? 1 guard, 2 guard, 3 guard, plays all the positions. Something you don't know a lot about, T, some basketball. So I'm gonna put you a little bit on game today and bring my boy Mitch to the show today, baby.
Hey man, let me tell you something, man. I love when you try to knock some of the greatest off the pedestals that we're on. You know, myself and Mitch, we're Hall of Famers. You know what I mean? You might want to get on our level.
Yeah, you got me on that one. Hey, that's all right. No, but me and you, we know Mitch forever.
Right.
You know, like I said, we both play basketball, play football. Of course, we think, all basketball players want to play football. All football, we want to play basketball.
Right.
Like you say, you think you can play basketball. You can't. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I can't wait. When we get him on here, we're going to ask him. We're going to ask him
to
see who's the best. I know I'm the best. I know when we get on the screen, even when he gets on the screen, I'm the best basketball player that's going to be on the screen.
I doubt that. But anyway. But no, one thing I know about Mitch, like I said, I've known him forever now. But he was a football guy. Yeah, I said when he was in high school, he loved football. I remember he loved the Dallas Cowboys, loved football. He always thought he could possibly play college football. He's got those big shoulders.
What position? He defense or he offense? I'm probably just. I don't see. He's not a receiver.
He's not a receiver. He's not quick.
I would say anything tight end or maybe defensive end or something like that.
I mean, he looking so big now. He probably D-tackle, but he gonna hate me for that one. But no, because you know how it's funny. Like basketball. All the basketball players have the exact same story, right? When everybody goes out for football one time, right? In their 7th, 8th grade, they put on the pads, put the helmet on. They see it on TV, and all those skinny basketball players go out there. I'm gonna play receiver. I'm gonna play DB, and they go out there and they get hit one time. They be done. They never go back to practice. It's like you ask all these NBA guys that they all have the same story. It's hilarious.
Wow.
But yeah, we're looking forward to having NBA Hall of Famer Mitch Richmond is in the building. 6-time NBA All-Star, 6-time NBA All-Star, right?
Yep.
Shoot, NBA champion.
NBA team, 2002 NBA champion with the Lakers. Most notably known for his time in Golden State Warriors, run TMC. Tim Hardaway, Mitch Richmond, and Chris Mullin. Man, those three boys, they were lighting it up. Man, I hate that their careers got management-wise got cut short. Yeah. But man.
3 years. They only played 3 years together.
I know, bro.
If you look at it now, especially after watching The Last Dance, you see how the management kind of broke up the team more than the team broke up the team.
Right.
Like, just think if those guys could have played 5, 6, maybe even 10 years together. They could have had a dynasty with a couple more pieces.
Yep, true that.
So there it is. But yeah, coming to the stage, my boy Mitch Richmond, NBA Hall of Famer on Get Your Popcorn Ready podcast. And don't forget to subscribe on the Himalaya app or wherever you get your podcasts.
No doubt.
Well, welcome to Get Your Popcorn Ready podcast. It's your host, Hatch, with my boy.
Yep. This is me. Y'all know who it is. That's right. Your boy T.O. is in the building. For everybody that's listening, I am very, very hyped about this one. Get your popcorn ready. Welcome to the show.
My man, Mitch Richmond is in the building today. Hall of Famer. What's up, Mitch?
Hey, what's going on?
What's up, baby?
What's going on?
How you doing, man?
Hey,
oh, man.
I feel good.
So we go today. Yeah, you look good, buddy. You look like you on vacation right now when I know you're in Calabasas. I don't know why you look like you in Malibu when I know you at the crib. Hey, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But so today we're gonna get into we've had Oscar Award winners on, we've had Grammy Award winners on, we got Hall of Famers, of course. T always bless us with some of his Hall of Fame buddies. But for the first time on Get Your Popcorn Ready, we finally get to talk about some NBA basketball. Something T don't know nothing about.
Something that between the both of us, me and Hatch, that I'm very much so well versed in, more so than him. And athletically, I am well rounded of a basketball player than he is as well. And I'll let you touch on that, Mitch, because I'm pretty sure, Mitch, you're an honest guy. I know your wife. You are a man of integrity. You have seen Mitch, you have seen Matthew Hatchett play, and you have seen T.O. play.
Now, who would win in a one-on-one, Mitch? Let's just start it out. Who gonna win in a one-on-one? Not today, because my hip. I can't play today. But
it don't matter.
10 years ago, 15 years ago, who was going to win in a one-on-one contest between me and T.O. in basketball, up to 11?
Let it be known, bro.
And fouls got to be called.
Fouls got to be called, man.
Fouls got to be called.
Hatch, you know I love you, man, but shit. I mean, damn, I'm sorry. You know, T.O., you my boy. God dang, man. God.
Come on, man. Hey, just be honest, dog.
Hey, man.
It's
listen,
okay.
All of us hang out together. All three of us.
That's all good.
I don't want this to hurt our
friendship. Trust me, our friendship will never be ruined. It will never be ruined. Never.
Hatch, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Mitch. Look, T. Look, T. I'm gonna break it down. So
I think T.O. might get you though.
Thank you. That's all it needs to be.
Listen, wait a minute.
Wait. What do you say, Mitch? Give me a 20 second.
Right? Listen. Now, definitely. Like, say if I was the coach right now, okay?
Yes.
And I was coaching both. You know what I'm saying? And I said, okay, like, T.O., you can play both sides. You can play the defense and the offense.
Yeah.
But if I need a bucket, I might have to go to T.O. If I need a bucket.
Okay. Now what if you need to stop on the other end?
Well, I will have to say this. I don't have to take T.O. out the game to put you in because he's gonna play on that end too. But I'm gonna put you in. I'm gonna put somebody else out, and I'm gonna put Hatch in so he can defend because I know he can defend. But I hope I hope you don't defend without fouling because he can defend. One thing about this.
You know what, ladies and gentlemen, this is gonna be the shortest episode of Get Your Popcorn Ready podcast because Mitch Richmond is on here lying to the whole world and everybody, and I can't.
I love it.
No,
it's all love. I tried to help Hatch with his shot plenty of times.
You
don't want my help.
There's one thing that I say when I would play. There's one thing I would say before I shot every shot. I always say, stick my butt out. Because that's one thing I picked up from Mitch on my jumper. You stick your butt out, you get that automatic bend in your knee.
A minute. Hey, Hatch, wait a minute. What are you talking about?
You would say, stick your butt out because you would get the automatic bend in your knee.
Well, I was trying to say bend. I wasn't really trying to say stick your butt out. I was just trying to say get your bend down.
This guy, bend down.
But no, Hatch, like, listen, I always told Hatch, you got some nice little form, but if you just, don't shoot at the top of the arena. You try to shoot you try to shoot it at the top of the arena. It goes on.
He had too much art.
Hey, T. Okay. So let me ask you this then. Okay, if you got 10 shots only from the 3-point line, right? Who you gonna take, me or T? Just
Hatch. I just said.
You just asked. Quit trying to find a way to win, dog.
Hey, T. I'm gonna find one thing.
No, quit trying to find a way to.
Tell you what.
Quit trying to find a way to win.
I hate y'all.
Hey, I appreciate this. Welcome to Get Your Popcorn Ready for all the listeners out there. You just heard it from an NBA player himself.
He don't count.
One of the members of Run TMC, Mitch Richmond. He just basically gave the world his answer.
Listen, man.
Matthew Hatchett, quit trying to find a way to finagle him. Hey, he is like when you cross-examine, you keep asking the same. asking a different question, expecting a different answer. That is not going to happen here, people. He has already spoken. The man has spoken. Hatch, let's move on to another subject, please.
Now, Hatch, you can play now. We're not saying that you cannot play. You
absolutely.
You can play. That's
we're
not saying that.
Mitch, I don't need your backhanded compliments now that you done put me on blast. Hey, forget all that. But okay, so you know you want
one last thing.
Yeah.
If T.O. is hurt, I will play you 48 minutes. How about that? Okay? If T.O. is hurt, I'm gonna play 48 minutes a game. You know what I mean?
I love it.
If T.O. is healthy, I might give him 38 and give you 10. How about that?
I love it. Hey, it's okay, Hatch.
No, I'm glad your opinion means nothing to me, Mitchell. Hey, okay, so you know, okay, so let's twist it around a little bit though, because ladies and gentlemen, I think that you guys, of course, you guys know Mitch Richmond as an NBA Hall of Famer, and his first love was football, actually, kind of like T. T played, football, went to the NFL. I went to the NFL Hall of Fame. It was the opposite. He's a lover of basketball. But so tell us what position you could have played, and if you think you could have played high level college or in the NFL as a football, Mitch.
Well, I really do think I could have played in the NFL.
Of course you do, and we know it's. Go ahead.
I mean,
of course.
What you think about that, Hatch? You don't really.
I know you couldn't. You don't got no fast twitch. He doesn't need to have fast twitch. There are he needs to require fast twitch. If you wanted to play defensive tackle, yes, you could have played D tackle.
Okay, let everybody know.
First of all, that's some bullshit. Second of all, okay, like listen, hey, I had the hands, brother. Like I was a tight end. I played defensive end and tight end. All right. Okay. So anything was close by me, bro, I was catching. Okay.
Now, did you play in high school?
Well, I stopped around around 10th.
Because it was too physical for you, right? Too physical.
No. I found something else that I really and truly like, and I was going to go back my senior year, but everything was just flowing out so well that I just said, hey, I'm just going to stay out of that sun. I'm from Florida, bro. It's hot as heck out there. I stayed in the gym. Right.
Okay. So take us back a little bit from your Florida days. So you was high school basketball. So what high school did you go to in Florida? And then how that transition go from your high school to your junior college, which you went to, and then to college?
Right. Well, I went to about 3 different schools, and that's probably why I didn't really kind of finish a season in football, because my mom was always moving. I went to probably 3 or 4 different middle schools. We was always moving, and so changing places all the time. I didn't start playing basketball until the 10th grade. Football, in Florida, the first thing when you're born, and then you're a black man, and you're a boy, they put a football in your hand, and so that was our first love. And so, so once I started playing basketball, I started getting a little taller and started enjoying it. Never really was looking forward to looking at it as professional. It's just something that I looked at and then that I really and truly liked. It was fun, and it was so easy for me, I think, from going from football to basketball, because I learned all the tough stuff in football. You learn all the contact. You wasn't scared of contact. You weren't scared of the hitting. You weren't scared of the physical play. And so when I went to basketball, I just thought everybody was soft. You know what I mean? So what really propelled me in basketball early, I can only jump, and I can rebound, and I can dunk. And so and I can shoot a little bit, but I think what propelled me was that I was tough and I wasn't afraid. So it kind of like my physical play kind of helped me to kind of evolve in what I was now.
Right. So when you was in high school, like what was your, how many points in high school did you average? Since you weren't considered a scorer, like when did you become a scorer?
No, I was considered a scorer, homie. I'm just saying that.
He's like, don't get it twisted.
Yeah, don't get it twisted, homie. I stayed that first year. It was my 10th year. So they moved me right to varsity, and they already had, seniors and everything like that, but I was still playing. And so my junior year, I think I averaged like 23 right out the gate.
Oh, okay.
23 and 16. That's my senior year, same thing, 23 and by 16. I mean, I was always knowing that I just kind of my game kind of evolved a little bit. My junior year, started shooting outside a little bit more, and then I knew that I had to go to college. If I had to go to college and play, if I wanted to play in college, I had to move my position because I was playing the 5 and the 4. And so if I wanted to play in the league, or if I, not the league, but in college, I had to move my position to the 2 guard. So going from high school, I went to 3 different high schools. I went to Deerfield High, I went to Dillard High, and then I graduated from Boyd Anderson.
Oh, okay.
Right. So you touched on a little bit, and I think that's what Hatch was hinting on as far as that transition.
Right.
What was it, I guess, hearing you explain, like there was a difference between your sophomore and your junior year. And you explained just the physicality and what really your mindset is what enabled you, I think, with your confidence to be able to play. So what was it that really clicked, or what was it so much of a difference in between your sophomore and your junior year that you saw that, okay, I'm big, I can rebound, and then now your junior year, you're like a prolific scorer, you're a shooter?
Working on the aspect of my game that I know I didn't have. I knew that I was a rebounder. I can post up. I was good around 15 to 16 feet, but I didn't have the deep ball. So that was one of the things that I was working with in the summer, is trying to improve that. And also, if I wanted to play in college, I had to improve my ball handling skills. So each and every summer, it was me working on something and working on the overall game to kind of get me better.
Okay. Right. So, and then from there, you went to K-State. Right. So you go to K-State and you become like
he went to junior college before he went to K-State.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
No. So when I went to junior college, it was another me developing. So like we had a heck of a team. There were some sophomore guys that was there already. That team was really good. Added me that even made it better. I can remember my coach said, if I come here, I probably wouldn't start because we got so many great players. And I'm like, man, if I come, I'm starting. You tripping. You know what I mean? So but for there, each and every year I had to continue to kind of get my skills up to par. When I first played in high school and when I got to junior college, I used to shoot the ball to the side. And my coach said that I wouldn't be able to get that off. Not playing against guys that are athletes, playing against quicker guys, playing against smarter guys, everything like that. I had to move the ball here to the top of my forehead. And so those 2 years was really a learning experience for me. My first year, I averaged 10 points. My first year in junior college, we had 8 guys led us in double figures. So I was one of the 10 points. We had our leading scorer averaged 16. So everybody was 11, 12, 13. So we had a crew. And then my sophomore year, I came out the gates. My freshman year in JUCO, we got to the tournament. We beat the team out of Michigan. They was 40-0. And we wiped them out. And then now we're getting ready to play another game to get to the championship. We all of my teammates, the starting 5, got food poisoning. I was the only one. Didn't get food poisoning, and so during the game, the guys was going to try to play. They tried to play, they couldn't do it, and then so that was a coming out party for me. I probably had about 28, something like that, 25, and so next year I was an All-American, but I only averaged 16 points. So it was a gradual thing each and every year. And so when I went to K-State, my first year, I averaged 19 points, but I played my junior year with a rubber cast on because I had broke my wrist and I didn't want to sit out. So my whole junior year, I'm averaging 19 points a game, and I got a rubber cast on my shooting hand. You know what I mean?
Okay. So I got 2 questions here. So the starting 5. So was it you that poisoned the guys? I'm trying to figure out. So
you know it was. You kind of just indicted yourself, young fella.
Yeah, no, not at all, man.
You the only one that didn't get poisoned.
I know it was crazy. I don't know how that happened. It was crazy because like we had such a good team, man. We was looking so far. We knew we was gonna beat this other team.
Right.
And just for those guys to be sick and not get to the championship because we felt like we had the better team and not to win it all. And
So my other question was, because obviously we all have like different routes to get where we are. Hatch, like I said, went to a small school. Obviously you, like I said, this is information for me because I didn't know you took the JUCO route. So for all our listeners out here, like again, were you opposed to going to a JUCO knowing the skill set that you had? Did you feel like you should have been at a Division I school?
Well, I was recruited by Division I schools.
Right.
I didn't have the grades.
Okay.
So I had to go JUCO, and I can remember University of Arkansas. At that time, they had I can't remember who was the coach. Sutton, I think, was the coach. But they had Joe Klein and they had Alvin Robinson. So I went on a visit to University of Arkansas, and they were playing Houston, Hakeem Olajuwon. So that was I wanted to go to this game because I'm a big Olajuwon fan, a Houston fan, and seeing Clyde Drexler. So I'm what used to happen with the Houston college team was you had to get to the game early because they would do a dunk contest before the game.
Oh, wow.
They were all pros, and like they would just do a dunk contest. So I got to the game early, man. I couldn't wait, man, to see these guys. And then I saw Olajuwon run out. I saw Clyde Drexler run out. Right then and there, I said, man, I ain't ready for college basketball.
Reality check.
I was playing the 4 and the 5. I got to go up against Olajuwon? No,
sir.
No, I said, man, and it was a blessing in disguise for me because I got better. I gained more confidence, and then I learned the 2-guard position. You know what I mean? So with my physical play, and then I was practicing and getting my game back on my outside play. It all came together by the time I got to K-State.
Right. And again, that's kind of what we're trying to always like preach, it's the process of becoming great. You're not just going to see something and say, I want to do that. Tomorrow I'll be ready. Like, no, you have to go through that process of seeing what you cannot do, doing what you can and cannot do. And then, of course, in the future, then if, like you said, it comes together over the years.
It's only a few of those, diamonds in the rough. When you think about guys that go literally from high school, to the pros. You've had your Kevin Garnett's, your Kobe's, your LeBrons, and guys of the like. That process in which, again, that's so refreshing to hear. That it was an eye opener because again, you were a realist that you saw. You thought you were ready.
Right, but you wasn't ready.
Guys, you be like, let me pump my brakes. Let me.
And I coached at St. John's, and that was the hardest thing to tell a young kid. Yeah. Because they see you, they see T.O., they see those guys, and they see them at the top of their level. And they're like, man, I want to be like that, and they want it so fast. They don't realize that Michael had to take a journey too.
Right.
And I always tell guys, your journey is different. You cannot be like Michael. Your journey cannot be like T.O. or like Hatch or like mine. You have to write your own script, and you have to go through it, and you have to do the hard work. If you don't do the hard work, shit ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you were a first rounder come out of K-State, right? Number 5 pick overall. And again, from a perspective, a fan perspective, you were always out west. Again, you had 23 on. You wasn't Jordan, but we wanted you to be Jordan, but you weren't Jordan because we were Jordan fans. No question. But again, you was killing it, but you didn't have a great team around you. Like, how frustrating was that for your first couple of years?
Yeah, well, I think my first 3 years, I had the best team. I mean, as far as like guys playing together, getting along. Even though I won a championship with the Lakers, that was a fun team, the Run TMC team. We got to the playoff twice, and we only needed a couple players to really come propel us to be a championship team. But yeah, coming in, man, it's just you're wide open, and you put in the work in the summertime, and now you want to display it. And then for me, coming from Kansas State, a lot of people didn't know me, so a lot of people didn't know about the draft pick, and I went number 5. So I was really ready to show people that I could play, and I was and I played with a chip on my shoulder. So.
Now back then, I know this is 1988, right?
Yes, 88.
So did they have the lottery then? Were you a lottery pick then, or they just okay?
Yeah, it was a lottery pick then, but back in the day, they don't have it like now, where each and every player that's coming into the draft goes to a summer camp, and they split the guys up. And so when I went into that summer camp at that time with all the players that's supposed to go in the draft, they had me positioned to get drafted between 15 and 25. Because a lot of people didn't see me that much. A lot of people didn't know, and they had 5 other guards in front of me. And so,
do you remember those guards? Who were in front of you?
It was like Rex Chapman, Hershey Hawkins, couple of guys.
We always remember who in front of us. We always remember.
It was those guys. And then but when I left that place, I was at the time, Don Nelson was actually our coach. So they used to have NBA coaches coach each and every team, and it'd be a tournament for like a week and a half. And so I came out of that averaging like 22 a game.
Oof.
And then that's when they said that I could probably go from either 3 to 8. So that was pretty cool.
Right. So basically that right there, you went to a best of camp based on draft status, and your stock rose.
Right.
In that camp. So yeah, it's always one of those things too. Then too, obviously, like I said, where they paired you. The guys that they paired you with, and then where they projected you, you said 15 to 25.
Right.
A lot of that was probably due to that you went to a JUCO, and then obviously you went to K-State. It's not like now, like where we are now, there's so much accessibility, with tape and recruiting that they obviously, like I said, you kind of got lost in the shuffle. You didn't have some of those, like, these prime time games where, you got Dukes and the Kentuckys and things of that nature, where you were able to kind of be revealed.
Right. Right. Yeah. I think my junior year gave me confidence. I really wasn't, honestly, to tell you the truth, man, I really wasn't looking at the pros like that. I found the sport that I really kind of enjoyed, and I loved it, and I was going to do the best I can to try to go as far as I can. And so my junior year, I got asked to try for the World University Games, and it was a lot of guys trying for the World University Games. And so coming from K-State, all these other guys, Arizona, all these big schools, I ended up going there and actually pretty much playing very well and actually leading the team, getting picked and leading the team in scoring for the World University. And coach from Duke was the coach. Coach K was the coach. And I think that gave me confidence in my senior year. To really kind of like feel like, hey, man, I'm putting in the work. Hey, let's just go all balls out, man, and see what happens.
Right. Yeah, because when you came into the league, you were obviously very confident, right? You came in, won Rookie of the Year, right? All rookie team and all that stuff. It's like because again, back in the day, we didn't have all of these channels, like T just said. We couldn't just look at your game on YouTube.
Right.
Like if you was on the East Coast, we couldn't watch a West Coast game.
Yeah.
So you would hear Mitch Richmond, and like I say, you saw the accolades, but we couldn't see you. So we didn't even get that household name, except Run TMC, the marketing of Run TMC. For you guys out there that don't remember that was Chris Mullin, of course, Mitch Richmond, and Tim Hardaway. It was those were the 3. How do you feel that big 3 stacks up now, where they have all these other big 3s? Would you guys?
So y'all, essentially, it seems like y'all were the big first 3 before there was ever a big 3.
No, I think we can match up. I think that's you look up at it. You look at it. I mean, it's been 30 years ago, bro.
Right.
Right. We played, you know what I mean? That we played that type of pace, and now these teams are playing that way, but we were playing that way back when, and it was a fun way to play because we all got along, we all moved, and we all knew our roles, and we knew to get the ball to Tim, run the floor. Chris Mullin is the sharpshooter. Tim is the guy that's going to handle the ball and get us the ball. I'm going to either post up or I'm going to shoot you from the three. So we worked well together. I think we averaged 72 points in amongst the three of us. So it was just a fun way of playing, man.
If you guys could have stayed together, because you guys only played 3 years together, right? They broke you guys up. I know you didn't like that. Of course, the whole city didn't like that at Golden State at the time.
Right.
But like, if you guys could have played 10, 12 years together, how many championships think you guys could have won?
Well, I don't know how many championships we won, but I definitely think we would have been in the mix.
Right.
Because
would you got one, you think, in Golden State?
No question about it. Yeah. I think we would have, because at that time when I came in the league, man, every team was potent, man. We were playing against grown men. You know what I mean?
Right.
We played
gray beards.
Yeah, we play the guys that ain't have no hairline. I mean, we it up. You know what I'm saying? And as young boys, I think you look at it now, the whole league is young.
The whole league is young.
And the whole league is young, but we were coming in when Portland was at their best with Clyde and Porter and all those guys that they had over there. And, and Michael, in Chicago and New York. And it was just so many great players all around the league. But just like you say, a lot of them wasn't known. You know what I mean? But it was great players.
Hey, let's take a little break. We got to talk about our friends over there at Blue Chew. Yeah. Hey, Hatch, if you want to be discreet and make a lasting impression, hey, this is the way to go.
Yes, sir. Try the chewables that have the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis.
Hey, like they say, man, first impressions go a long way.
How long do they go?
Yeah, and on top of that, if you want to be discreet, you don't want anybody to know your business, that's the beauty of it. You can get it mailed to your residence, whatever the case may be. They box it up. Nobody has to know.
Nobody knows. And they work faster and get into your bloodstream quicker.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, sir.
In and out, huh? In and out like that?
Hey, we go pop it quick like popcorn.
Oh, yeah. I'll get it popping. No doubt. Pop them Blue Chewables.
It only takes a few minutes to connect with BlueChew.com. Performance enhancements. Here's a great deal for you guys. Visit BlueChew.com and get your first order free when you use promo code GPR. Just pay $5 in shipping.
Yep. And that's go to BlueChew.com. That's BlueChew.com. And remember, first order's free with the promo code GPR. Yep. Let's pause for the cause for a minute. We also got to talk about our friends over at Keeps.
And did you know 2 out of 3 guys will experience some form of male pattern baldness by the time they're 35? The best way to prevent hair loss is to do something about it while you still have hair. Unfortunately, T, you don't have any hair.
I don't need hair. I got this beautiful smile. Yo, Hatch, do you have to go to the doctor to get a prescription for this?
Nope, you sure don't. See, you used to have to go to the doctor's office for hair loss prescriptions. Now, thanks to Keeps, you can visit a doctor online and get hair loss medication delivered right to your home. They make it easy to deliver your medication every 3 months. So you can say goodbye to pharmacy checkout lines and awkward doctor visits. If you're ready to take action to prevent hair loss, go to Keeps.com/popcorn.
Receive first month free. Keeps.com/popcorn. That's KEEPS.com/popcorn.
Well, again, so after you left Golden State, went to Sacramento, again, your scoring was going up again, but you, as a Sacramento, as a team, again, you guys weren't up, in the top 4 in the conference. You guys weren't playing many playoff games. It's always interesting to hear a perspective from a great player, like when you weren't on a great team. You want your games to be the big games. You want to be in the finals, in the conference finals, stuff like that. Like, so how was that experience in Sacramento, not knowing that you weren't getting, probably weren't going to make it to the championship at the end of the season?
That was probably the hardest time in my career. I really didn't feel like I was in the league. I felt like when I left Golden State, man, we were on the rise. It was fun basketball. People really still didn't know Golden State, but they were coming around. And then I get traded to Sacramento, and it was a young team. Really unprepared. Front office was all over the place, and I had never ever lost. Like any season that I played, we always had a winning record. and to go to Sacramento and then start losing and then be known as a loser, man, that's tough to take, especially you at a sport where you think that you want to be at your best. You know, you done made it to the league, you know, made it to the top of the sport, and you playing, you know, with a team that's a dud. I mean, man, that was hard to take each and every night.
Because like as receivers, I'm bringing it to T, because as receivers, especially T, you know, we can only do so much. We need the quarterback to throw us the ball. We need the lineman to block. Right. But in basketball, I just feel like you're in more of a control, right? There's only 5 guys. You can have the ball in your hand as much as you want. Like, why didn't you shoot more? Like, why didn't you have the Kobe shot, obviously a lot, right? You never shot like Kobe shot. You never shot like Michael shot. But again, your shooting percentage was high. 22 points a game when you're at Sacramento is great, but you could have averaged 32 points a game, but you still feel like that wouldn't have got you guys the win?
Well, I think it's a combination of a little something like this. Well, Kobe came in with Shaq, Eddie Jones, Van Exel, all these guys that you have to pay attention to them. You know what I mean? And when people are paying attention to me, they're running. Sometimes they will run double teams at me, and they'll run 3 guys at me. And so it's hard. I don't want to take a bad shot. You know what I mean? Right. I got to find out through the whole scheme to take a good shot. But each and every night, man, it was difficult, like trying to maneuver that, because then I got better. Each and every time I got smarter at it. I got better at it. I knew how to handle double teams. But each and every night, man, they were running somebody at me. So they were limiting my shot. So I had to find ways to get to the free throw line. And I had to find ways when that double team is coming, how do I get a foul on a big guy when he's running up towards me? I got to act like I'm going to try to go around him and get a foul. And then now that slows him down a little bit. I get to the free throw line. Now he's not going to come as hard. So it was so many kind of ways that I tried. I had to play. And that was hard playing. You want to play with other talent, because then you have to watch them too. And then you can also do your thing. That's why it was so much easier when I played with the Warriors.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, with Hatch's question, I mean, I'm thinking too, when he asked that question, I didn't see you as a high volume type of shooter. Right. Obviously, like I said, you know, coaches are going to put you in the best position to win. So again, when you describe the TMC with you, Tim, and Chris, and you was like, you know, Tim ran the floor. Right. You know, Chris was a sharpshooter. Right. And then you posted up and you played outside as well on the perimeter. So you guys pretty much covered all of the bases in which, you know, you guys were being successful. Well, I think what was interesting, you know, hearing you talk about, you know, going from losing, you know, at Golden State, and then you go to Sacramento Kings, and you've never really lost before. Can you share a little bit about that mental aspect of, you know, how you had to adjust to go from winning and losing? And then my second one is, you know, knowing that you were starting to lose, did you not put the team success, you know, as a priority, and then start going for individual success? Because I heard you say that your scoring and everything stayed on par. Right. So with that being said, it's like, did you kind of sacrifice the team goals versus individual?
No, that's a good question, and I think I can answer that this way: is that, and you've seen it in the Mike documents, and it's a whole different mentality that Mike had, but all the players have. Mike had it in the sense of that he was playing a game within the game, so he had to get mad at the guy that was in front of him. You know what I mean? Right. He had a great team. He knew that they were going to win. But what was going to get him motivated was the guy that he had to hate in front of him. I took on the same thing, is that it wasn't the guy that I hate, but I knew that he was trying to take something from me. I knew that if I didn't play hard, it was going to be easy for them to just trap me, and I give up the ball and I do that. So I wanted to make sure that I was going to guard you hard on defense, and I was going to give you everything I had on offense. And so what I had to play a game within the game, because we were losing. But the one thing I didn't want to do is that I had started so well my whole career. I wanted to continue to keep that consistency, and that's when you'll be a great player. And so I worked hard, and I said that I'm not going to, because people were looking at me and saying I'm going to Sacramento, then I'm just going to be just an average guy now. But if I continue to keep playing and keep pushing and keep working on my game and show that each and every night, even though I wouldn't even look at the score sometimes, T. I wouldn't even look at the score because I knew we were losing.
Yeah, you know you're losing.
I knew we were losing.
Just play hard.
Hard, and guys would be like, "Damn, man, you play hard as shit." Like, you know what I mean? Like, but I had to play that way because I had to get that respect, and then that's what I had to take on because I knew I was losing. I had to play a game within the game. I wouldn't even look at it, and I couldn't really kind of not play with the team because then that's the ill-advised shots that I'm talking about. So it was a way for me that I had to really kind of incorporate them, try to encourage them. I wasn't a guy that really kind of get down on guys, but I would tell you at times that what you need to do and this and that. So I kind of like most.
You ain't never cursed nobody out though.
Yeah, led by example.
You ain't never cursed
later on I did.
Who you remember cursing out?
Shit, OP all the time. Olden
Polynese, that's our guy. You got on him?
Oh, every time, man. Olden Polynese would be in the locker room ready to fight all the time.
Right. So other elements of your game, so the leadership, other characteristics of your game started to flourish or blossom outside, going to a new team, taking on different characters, egos and stuff in the locker room, different players. Yeah,
man, it was tough, man, because like I at that time the organization was not moving in the right direction.
Right.
So then each and every day, like I'm gonna tell you, like T, you did it where you like shit, you went out some places, right?
Right.
I was doing that, but I was doing it quietly. You know,
So give the audience an example of doing it quietly. Like, is that
so you doing it behind closed doors?
Hey, running up to the office every day before practice and say, "Hey, man, damn, man,
hey, what we doing? What we doing?
Can you get me a part of this joint, man? Come on, man, get me a part." I tell you a funny story. When I got traded, I didn't know the rules, right? I remember calling my agent when they traded me so dirty.
When they traded you to Sacramento.
Traded me to Sacramento,
yes.
And it was the opening season of my third season. It was my third season. No, my fourth season.
Fourth season, right?
Fourth season. It was the opening of the game. We're in Denver, and I knew that I had been, traded because it was at that time Don Nelson was the general manager and he was
the head coach,
and that's terrible. And he was drinking. So come on, man. So it wasn't together. So I knew my name had been out there, but I'm like, okay, cool. If you're gonna trade me, if I get to Boston, if I get to New York, if I get to one of the team, it's on. You know what I mean? And so I can remember getting ready to go down to the bus for the first game. Don Nelson calls on my phone in the hotel. I pick up the phone. He said, "Can you come down to my room?" I said, "Oh shit, this motherfucker trade." So I go down there. He got the latch on the door, and them old hotels where they used to have the air conditioning in the back by the window. Like,
right.
So he's sitting on the air conditioner, and I walk in. And the only thing I said to them, I said, "Man, don't tell me you traded me to Sacramento." and he said, "I traded you to Sacramento." I slammed the fucking door and said, "Yeah, thank you, bro. I appreciate it." And walked out.
Have you
traded me to Sac, man?
When was the first time you seen him since he traded you? And what did you say to him after that?
Every time I seen him, he got something from me, homie. Every time I see him. Every time he tried to talk to me, I was like, man, nothing. I would
like just deuces.
Huh?
Just deuces. You don't want to hear it.
I would say some shit under my breath, but only he can hear. No question about it. Oh, I was pissed. Come on, I was pissed. And it was only because I feel like it was only because I wouldn't sign. I was becoming a free agent.
Mm-hmm. And he knew you was gonna get out anyway.
I knew he was gonna get out. I can remember him coming to me. Man, in the airport one day, and saying, "Hey, man, do you want to be here?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do want to be here. Yeah, I love this team. I love it." He's like, "So why are you not signing an extension? Why are you not signing?" I'm like, what? I said, "Okay." So at that time, Chris Mullin, he had just gave Chris Mullin $3 million a year, right? I think 3.1, something like that. And I said to him, I posed a question. I said, "Who do you think is the best player on the team?" And he said, "I think Chris." And then I think, you know, your comment like that. I said, well, if you think I'm the second best player on the team, give me $3 million.
Right.
You know what I mean? You gave him 3-1.
Give me $3. Yeah.
Give me $3 million. He was offering me like 1.8, 1.9. And what I said to him, I said, listen, I want to be here, but I'm going to show you that I deserve that money. So
you're worth it.
Yeah, I'm worth it. So don't trade me. I'm going to show you. It's not saying that I don't want to be here. It's saying that, motherfucker, I'm not going to take 1.9. I'm not going to take 1.8.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So he traded me, and then that's when, like, I hate him ever since.
Wow, we got NBA Hall of Famer Mitch Richmond in the building. Okay, so you went Sacramento Kings 7 years, right? Then after that you went to the Wizards.
Right. Went to who?
Went to the Wizards after Sacramento.
I played over there.
The Bullets.
You're right now.
No, you're right.
I'm gonna say because 1968 was the Bullets.
No, it was the Wizards.
Was it the Wizards? Okay, but before that, they were the Washington. Okay,
yeah. It was a tough time at that particular.
And that wasn't you kind of you played 10 years in the NBA. Right. They weren't winning the championship. You know what a championship team looks like. Right. And after that, you decided to go ahead and take, your talents to Los Angeles. Right. Came out to the Lakers. You got a ring. Now, of course, from a perspective, from looking back, especially like a role player like I was, from players that were all-stars, future Hall of Famer. Right. You're on a team. You're about to win a championship.
Right.
But you're not contributing like you were at Sacramento and Golden State.
Right.
What's that, that inner turmoil within yourself saying, man, I want to do more. I'm not doing more, but we're winning.
Well, Phil heard that too, homie. I was up with Phil too. Like, yo, man, so I can remember I was playing probably about 18 minutes a game at the beginning of the year, and he was like, I'm going to play you 20 minutes because it was.
That's what Phil Jackson told you.
Phil Jackson told me, you're going to play me 18 to 20 minutes a game. I'm like, cool, I can handle that. You got a young star in Kobe coming out. I can play my 20. I'm going to be out of this thing in probably 2-3 years, so whatever. And so all of a sudden, then he stopped playing me. And he told me that he's just going to rest me for the playoffs. And I'm like, I said, man, what?
I smell a rat.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. You gonna rest me? First of all, I gotta get in tune. You can't.
I gotta get in shape.
Yeah, I gotta get in shape, but I gotta get ready. I gotta get tuned up for the playoffs. You can't do that. So it was like he would come down at the end of the bench at times, and it would be like 4-5 minutes left in the game. He'd say, Mitch, you want to play? I said, man, you ain't played the whole damn game. Play them young boys. I ain't fucking getting out there fucking dribbling the ball off my foot. Like, man, come on, man. And you know I'd have been in the last 4 minutes trying to get 20. So
already
playing every time. So I was like, nah.
Hey, you would have become a high volume shooter.
Yeah, then he would have. You ain't lying.
Exactly. So I'm like, nah, man, I'm not. And then so when that happened, he didn't play me. So in the playoff, he didn't play me. So for me, like, that's a good question because what I looked at and what helped me to kind of get through that, because I knew I could play, I knew I can contribute, I knew I could help the team. But what helped me get through that time, even though it was tough times, was that I can remember the guys that played behind me when I was at Sacramento, when I was at the top of my game, when I was at Golden State, I was at the top of my game, and what the type of friendship that we had when they would go in the game before me, and I would try to cheer them on. So, and even when I was in the game, they would cheer me on. So I'm like, yo, man, I'm gonna pay that back. I'm gonna be
pay it forward.
Like, playing like those guys. Like they would cheer me on. I'm going to cheer this team on, even though that I'm not playing. And because, I felt like I'm worthy of it. But hey, I'm in a position that I played a long time, and it's probably passing me by.
Right.
So, to piggyback Hatcher's question, so winning the championship, knowing that you really didn't play a lot or you didn't contribute, does that the inside of you, do you feel like a champion? Do you feel like a champion considering, like I said, your body of work? Right. Does that factor in you feeling like you're a champion versus what the reality of you not really playing?
True. That's a good question. Yeah, the me feeling like a champion of my body of work. You know what I mean? And no question about it. I tell you, do you see a ring on this finger right now? No.
No.
Like, I don't wear it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't wear it, but I got it. And it's
proud,
good to be on my resume. And the one thing, like, I really don't like how the media sometimes portray guys and forget about the guys that were so dang good, but didn't get the championship. And the guys that did get a championship, you put them in a place where they're
glorified.
You glorify them, and like, and sometimes even the role player is more known than one of the stars on another team.
Somebody that has to have a body of work or resume like yourself.
No question. I already know. No question. So that, in a sense, I just don't think that we always need to kind of like, these guys win championship, but you gotta. It's been great players come throughout this league, man, that didn't win a championship. And you know how hard and how lucky you gotta be to win a championship, because there's so many great athletes, just like football. You know, it's somebody else. You know what I mean? It's
the stars gotta line up.
So I think you just gotta glorify the players, man, that play this game and play it at a top level, and continue to keep doing it at a consistent pace.
Absolutely. And I think sometimes that's my clap back to a lot of fans that, that try to, go after me because I played, so many years and I didn't win a championship or what have you. And as Hatch just said, sometimes, guys are just lucky. Some guys are just, they win in high school, they win in college, and they get in the pro, they still win. And then again, to Hatch's point, sometimes you just find yourself on a team and you're just in the right place at the right time. And for me, I try to tell people, and there's a lot of players, and to your point, Mitch, that, there are guys that are up and coming now that I guess in our era or this era, where they're not like superstars, but they're well known. They're talked about more so than guys that have played the game, well before them, that are, that hasn't won championship, but they got more notoriety. So my clapback is always, to a lot of these guys that try to come at me, you don't have a championship ring. Maybe I don't, but that doesn't deter
my numbers. Look at my numbers.
And you can't dispute that I didn't play like a champion.
That's right.
For me, that's how I look at it. Yeah, granted, we all want to win a championship. That's why we play the game, especially the ultimate. That's the ultimate, is to win a championship. But we're not always fortunate. I take this back to what you said a little bit earlier when you said you only played 3 years with the Golden State Warriors, and y'all made the playoffs only twice. And then you think about what you said, is like, oh man, if we would have had a couple more players, maybe we could have won. So that's the same thing, same concept, same mindset that I had too. Like maybe if I would have played with a couple better players here and there, maybe I would have won. That's the same way in a lot of these basketball games now. And even when you played, Mitch, guys that are kind of like on the bubble, on the cusp, and just need one or two more players. You think about OKC, when they had Russ, they had James Harden, they had KD.
Everybody.
They didn't win the championship. Then they kind of got broken up. And it's kind of like where Houston Rockets are right now. Before even Russ came over, they need like one or two more players. They were kind of, it's like a puzzle a little bit. They were trying to do a little bit of that. They brought, Chris Paul in, brought a few other players in, Fareed, this and that and the other, but it just didn't happen. So man, to your point, we don't necessarily have to have a championship, but that's the ultimate goal. But you shouldn't feel less of yourself, and I don't, because I didn't win a championship. I played in the Super Bowl. We came up short, but like I said, I can only do what I can do.
What you do, that's right. And then sometimes it just don't even line up for you, because
you
know what I mean? You go to a team but people don't understand the mindset of an athlete. Even when you go into a season, you look at your team, even though another team has just won in the Super Bowl, but you like, you know what? If everything go right, we
got a chance. We got a chance. Yeah.
We got that chance. Listen, I was in Sacramento saying that at times. If about 15 people go down,
we good.
We got a shot. We keep playing. You know what I mean?
And
keep that mentality. You know what I'm saying?
Being that you just said that, What team now? Like I said, we have the NBA. They're playing down in Orlando. They're playing
in the bubble.
Mm-hmm. And one of the teams that I think that's going to surprise some people.
Right.
And this guy, the last few nights, he has lit it up. And Damian Lillard for the Portland Trailblazers, he kind of fits this scenario in which we're discussing. Is that
absolutely.
Right. They may have a chance. They put all these pieces together. Everything is aligned. And you think about CJ plays well. He plays well. He does what he does. You think about Carmelo. They got Nurkic that's coming back from injury. Yep. These guys could push one of these top seeds, you know, and upset them. What do you think about, you know, the Portland Trailblazers, you know, their chances?
No question about it. Like the bubble and what has happened is really helped the Portland Trailblazers. They got healthy, you know what I mean, and they got a chip on their shoulder. And Damian Lillard is just playing unbelievable. Hopefully McCollum can get through, because I heard he's playing with a fractured back, and that's
right.
I didn't know that.
Back. Yeah, he's playing with a fractured back. So, and I think another up and coming team that plays as a team is OKC. OKC is just really kind of with Chris Paul. He got them.
Chris Paul.
Yeah, he got them young players playing defense. They're playing together. They have a 3-point guard head that they just moving that ball, man, and attacking you. But yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying the bubble. I'm enjoying that basketball is back, no question about it. But we're just gonna have to wait and see. But Lillard is a beast. He's a beast.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of like his game is kind of like my game. You know what I'm saying? Like I just lost. I can't hear you. Something just went out. Went out. Okay, so Mitch, we on the show we do this start one, bench one, cut one.
Okay.
On the show, right? So I'm gonna give you a couple scenarios. Okay. So just as a shooter alone, right? Start one, bench one, cut one. Larry Bird.
Okay.
Chris Mullins, Reggie Miller.
Oh my man, come on. Come on, man.
Hey, that's how we do it, baby.
Come on, dog.
We gotta do it, dog.
That's just so disrespectful, man.
Hey, you gotta start one, you gotta bench one, you gotta cut one. What you go do with them?
I'm gonna all of these guys was in their prime.
Yep, best. Yeah. In their prime.
Ooh, I know that.
I came out with an uppercut.
I'm a start one. I'm a bench one.
And you got to cut.
Then I'm gonna pass out, and then I don't know what I'm gonna do next. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start one, pass out, and I'm out. I don't know.
Okay. I'll give you an easier one.
Come on, man.
I'll give you an easier one. Okay, let's go. College basketball.
Okay.
Right when they was good. UNLV starting 5.
Okay.
The Fab 5.
Okay.
Or the Illinois 5 when they had Bardo, Kendall Gill, and all of them.
Oh, they were nice.
Yes. Which one? Start one, bench one, cut one.
And so who is this? The Fab 5?
Fab 5, UNLV, and Illinois.
Okay, I would go because UNLV was winning championships.
Running Rebs,
baby.
I'm gonna start them.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to bench the Fab 5.
Okay.
And then and Illinois is gonna sit it out.
You go. Oh, okay. All right. You didn't like the Kendall Gill and them boys?
I love. Wait a minute. I love Kendall Gill and them boys. I love them. But you talk about
that's your bench. That's your bench.
In the UNLV. That you know what I mean?
Yeah. Start, bench, and cut. He got it. He's cutting. He's cutting the Fab 5. He's benching Illinois. And he's starting to run the rails.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I got one more. I'm gonna make this one a little bit tougher. Right. Okay. From the point guard position.
Okay.
Woohoo. Right. John Stockton.
Oh man.
Gary Payton.
Oh man.
Right. Or your boy Tim Hardaway.
Oh.
I got it.
Oh,
start one, bench one, cut one.
My screen just went out.
Tim Hardaway.
Screen just start bench one. Oh my God.
Oh man.
What you gonna do? Huh? Yeah, you got to. This one you got to answer. We gave you a pass on the first one. You got to answer this one, B.
Oh man, yeah, we could have said Beyonce,
Rihanna. I think, like, listen, man, this is hard. This is hard because it can go either way. You know what I mean? Because both of them, and I love. I played with John Stockton, played with Gary Payton in the Olympics.
Okay. So let me help your scenario.
Okay, all right.
You're the head coach. Y'all going into the playoffs. You're the head coach. Y'all going into the playoffs.
Right.
You got to start somebody, and you got to bring somebody off the bench, and then we already know after just starting the bench, we know who you cut. So you got to start one, and then you got one coming off the bench. You're the head coach.
Listen, this guy's the all-time leading assist guy.
So okay, then what you gonna do with him?
So you're the head coach. That's what I'm saying. You're the head coach.
Because ladies,
nobody would ever have this situation. No one.
You were in scouting in the NBA, right? You were the coach at St. John's University. This is a
right. You know what? I'm just gonna say I made a mistake. Okay, I made a mistake. I am going to start Tim Hardaway, bring Gary off the bench, and I might cut.
The
welcome to
leader?
Get Your Popcorn Ready. With T.O. and Hatch, we got our guy Hall of Famer.
Hey, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sign John Stockton to a quiet deal, and if guys, I'm bringing him back. I'm bringing him back. You know. That was a friendship call right there.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Already.
Yeah. So what do you think? Obviously, we touched on a little bit about the playoff format. Obviously, the restart of the NBA. They're in the bubble.
Yeah.
What have you liked about the restart so far? And can you explain to me, like I said, I'm a basketball mind. I don't think other people would probably think this way. But you've seen, I guess, that the shooting percentages, they're higher since the restart. And my idea of why their percentages are high is because everybody's shooting in the same gym, same senior. It's not changing. Right. Nobody is traveling.
Right.
So there's no tired leg. There's no nothing. So I think that, in my mind, that's what's contributing to some of the higher shooting percentages. But my first question is, what do you think about the restart of the NBA?
I think a little bit of that goes into that. No question about it. You knowing your surroundings. You playing each and every night. I think a lot of it though is that these guys are mentally prepared. Like, you got so many things that you have to worry about when you go into arena, the ticket. You know what I mean?
Family, travel, all that.
Yeah, if you're gonna sit your girlfriend over there and your other girlfriend over there.
Man.
I'm just saying.
Was that what they do in the NBA?
No, I'm just saying that's not me. I'm just talking in the thing. They're in the bubble. They're young guys. You see, they've been trying. You see, they've been trying to push some girls in there already. Okay,
I heard. No fans only.
No fans only. But yeah, and I think you get the raw. I think you get the rawness of the guys. Now you hear the talking. You see the competitiveness. It ain't no more you're looking in the stands and see if your friends or what actor is there or what this and that. Like, these guys are in tune, and even this break has gotten these guys to get in better shape. You know what I mean? Gave their body a rest. Yeah. And like, you think about it, if you can do that each and every season to kind of rest your body a little bit and come back fresh, I mean,
you'd be a dog.
You'll be awesome. But yeah, I think it's a little bit of what you're saying, but it's also a little bit of these guys just focusing in, man, that they don't have to worry about what's on the outside of going in.
Yeah. To your point, I think what the NBA has done is really minimize a lot of the distractions. Obviously, like I said, less travel, all those things, fans, as you said, the extracurriculars, the wives, the mistresses and things of that nature. But I've seen on TV, they're implementing, I guess, a protocol for the playoffs where they're going to have a number of family, you can family members, this, that, and the other. So let's see if this tinkers or this messes up what I think was, something good,
Just think about it. Some of those guys after games or before games, they in the mall the whole damn time. You know what I mean?
Right.
They going to buy their shoes. They going over here. They going to get a haircut over here. You know what I mean? Damn, I want to go to the dealership, man, and look at this car. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go over here. And by the time the game, their legs are tired. Now you have no excuse for coming out and busting your butt. You know what I mean?
I have a question about Zion. Because I was rooting for Zion, and obviously, like I said, pre-bubble, I saw and I heard about what great shape he was in, and then all of a sudden
he don't look
restart,
like it.
and then he didn't look nothing like what as advertised or what everybody was reporting. Yeah. What do you think? What do you think there's something there? What is that all about?
Yeah, he got. Listen, he got to get a control of it. It's like this. When you like to eat and you become and you all of a sudden come into money.
You can eat anytime, all you want.
Anytime, anything, and nobody ain't got to question you. You ain't got nobody at Duke trying to check your weight. You know what I mean? You could be ordering pizza all night. Like you when you become in the NBA or the NFL, you're a grown man. Nobody really checks on you on that side.
Right.
You just come to practice and making sure that I hope you did the right thing before you got here. Like just like you said, I heard that he was in the best shape of his life.
That ain't it.
Like, and still how he
not what I saw.
Yeah, still how he. No, he's definitely heavy. He's gonna have to get down about 260, no question about it, to be a beast. 285, 295 is too heavy.
Because it's like when I'm watching it, I'm looking at him like, and they're saying you let him play more, right? He's only playing 5 minutes, 6 minutes, and all the commentators and on social media are like, no, let him play more. And I'm like, he barely making it to 5 minutes.
Yeah,
he had 5 minutes, and he bent over. He ain't gonna make it. So
think about what he did. Think about his game. His game is that second effort.
Right.
From carrying that weight, he cannot do that second effort. Yes. There's times where his second jump was higher than his first, and now you're seeing him. His second jump is lower than his first.
He's one of those.
Yeah, you can't get up there. So definitely, they said that they got a hell of a plan for him this
off season. I hope so, man. I hope so. We need
got it all set for him because all of us, man, we're pulling for him because. One thing, he's such a good kid, and he's a great teammate. Everybody loves playing with him. He plays unselfishly, so we're all rooting for him, no doubt about that.
There it is.
We got Hall of Famer Mitch Richmond here. I don't know how much longer we got, but I want to kind of touch on a few things, and we touched on your career from high school and that path, but I don't know if I missed it. Maybe Hatch asked it. Who was your idol? Who was that guy that basically influenced you, or once you went from football and you saw that you picked up basketball and that was sort of like your passion, who did you kind of like pattern your game after, or you saw in your mind was like your favorite basketball player, and then you say, okay, I want to play in the NBA?
Yeah, I think it changed throughout my throughout my childhood. I think when I was young, I really didn't look at athletes like that. You know what I mean? I looked at my godfather. My dad was fine, but he was in the service, and so I kind of like how I loved how they carried themselves. And so for football, when I started loving football, the Dallas Cowboys was my team. You know what I mean? That blue and gray. When I was a kid, my mom got me that star helmet, and I was like, man, I'm a
lost your mind.
Right. Yeah, I lost my mind. I'm like, man. And then once I started looking at football, I really and truly loved Tony Dorsett. Tony Dorsett was my guy. You know what I mean? Like, so when he got a chance to go to the Cowboys, I was like, oh my God, the Cowboys? Yeah. So Cowboys and the guys you talk about. So when I start watching basketball, Dr. J was the guy that I really kind of tried to emulate, not necessarily your game. You try to do that on the street ball, but more so than anything, I really kind of like how he carried himself. I like how he was charismatic. You know, he was chill. He was cool. You know, you couldn't get him. You couldn't fluster him. So I kind of went to him. And then, you know, in junior college, watching Michael Jordan with his what he was doing, I really liked it, Michael Jordan. But I really liked the guy by the name of Len Bias.
Yeah,
I heard that. They said. I mean, I was hearing stories about this guy was going to be like the next Michael before MJ.
bro. Yeah. He was unbelievable. He was 6'8", jump to the gym. He had an 18-foot jump shot, man, that nobody could get to. He would just drive to the baseline, pull up, and 7-footers would try to block it. He just shoot right over there. He had a soft touch. And so that was the one guy. I remember when driving to go work out and listening to the radio, and they told me that he had passed because we had just watched the draft. Man, I cried like a baby there because that's the one reason I wanted to go to Maryland. Len Bias. And so, so I say Len Bias, and that's it. So I didn't really nobody kind of felt like how I played. I came from football, so I didn't really see anything.
Right. Yeah, so, how you described all that, man, that's how Hatch, that's how he is.
Hatch described you.
Yeah, man. So I get it, dog.
Blasphemy.
It was like Dave.
Blasphemy.
Hey, that's why I was kind of frozen, dog. I'm like, man, this sounds just like what Hatch, how he describes me. I'm like, man.
Hey, again, so you're watching all the highlights every week, see who balling out, whatever. And we was never like good friends like we are now. But I remember the only time I'm froze.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, go back.
Did I? Yeah. Okay, so it's like we're watching the highlights every week about I said this player's doing whatever. I was always watching T, like I knew him, but we weren't good friends like we are now.
Right.
But the one time that I was like, yo, that was some hot. That's something I would want to do. That's somebody I would want to be right now. Is when he went to Dallas and he stood on the star the first time. I lost my again, I'm not a fan because
very disrespectful.
Very disrespectful. That moment in sports history was ultimate, the number one disrespectful thing ever in sports, and I loved it. I lost my mind, dog. If we had Twitter on that one day, that would have broke the internet. That one would have broke the internet.
Hey, so I already know what you about to say, Mitch Richmond. Being that you was a Cowboy
fan. Nobody trying to hear all that.
But it was bittersweet though, King. It was bittersweet because I was in the Bay Area when you were balling.
Right.
I was in the Bay Area when you were balling, and I was a fan too. Like, man, this is my nice, you know what I mean? But when you did that to the Cowboys, man,
I hate them.
What's up with that, man? You don't do that to the Cowboys. You don't do that. But I tell you though, the thing that you did when you went to Philadelphia and you played in the playoffs, dog, with a messed up ankle.
Yep.
I was like, man, ain't no way, because boy, if nobody could get close to my ankle when it was sprained. Like, I'd be like, oh no.
Honestly, I ain't gonna tell no lie. That was probably the thing that was in my mind the most, that I feared most, is that somebody going down to tackle me on my ankle.
Right.
So if you saw, like, if you watch, like, even now when I watch the game, I see highlights. Yeah. Bro, trust me, I was trying to pick them feet up and put them down as fast as I could. And if you saw, every time I was on that sideline, I got north and south much as I could, but I dipped out of bounds.
Yeah. And I tell you what, it's like all that's your toughness, right? Your mental toughness, physical toughness of being a football player. So, of course, Mitch, you're one of the tougher NBA guys, obviously. Like you, Allen Iverson, you guys all had the past of playing football, which made you tougher compared to a basketball player. Right. And so, audience, right? Anybody out there that you guys go and talk to an NBA player, they all have the same answer when it comes to them talking about, do they want to play football? They all have the same story. I played when I was younger. The first time I got hit, I quit.
I didn't say that, homie.
No, I'm saying 99.9% of all the players, they all played one play. You know what I mean? And they said, I got hit and I was done. But everybody who kept playing, you can tell that physical toughness is just different. You know what I'm saying? AI played the game different than, other point guards. You played the game a lot more physical. LeBron plays the game a lot more physical. Like, you can tell who put on a football uniform and played basketball as well in high school.
Yeah, well, that is saying that it don't knock you off your game. Football don't know, like when you go to football and the whole time is all competition.
Yeah.
And
contact, yeah.
It's contact, it's pushing, it's shoving, it's always somebody trying to get an edge on each other. So when you come to basketball, that's normal. Like, I mean, shoot, I mean, you ain't gonna beat me at that. I mean, I done been against the best, the hardest, the toughest. Each and every night you get your butt whooped, you get back up. So ain't no way like the mental toughness is gonna be a factor when I go to basketball. That's just was what it was.
Okay, so I know me and T, of course, big Jordan fans, and we all on here watched The Last Dance.
Yes,
what was going through your mind when you watched The Last Dance? Did it take you back to a story, a time when you played Michael, or did it kind of bring you more current on you've enjoyed this time watching Michael throughout this process?
Man, I think all of it. I think, kids don't understand how great of a team that was and how great he was. Right. Like, listen, I was one of the first guys to wear Jordans. And
while you're playing in the NBA.
And I'm playing in the NBA and I'm
wearing his shoes, right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on, man, you don't get no better than that. I'm like, wow. Can I get a pair of them dogs? So I was wearing Jordans. I was a member of the Team Jordan team, but still, like with me and Mike would battle and we would never talk. And so people like in the Last Dance when he's talking about people are talking to him and this and that, we never talked. We was always just used to go at each other.
Competition, yeah.
It was just competition. I just learned that through football. It ain't about to talk. It just you got to go out and do it. And if you didn't if you didn't make Michael play you on defense, on offense, like if I'm got the ball and he will murder.
Chilling.
Yeah. He would just be chilling and get rest. It's kind of like what James Harden do. He don't play no D. He's all for the O. Like Michael was that one guy though that played both ends. So you had to respect his game because he's gonna try to kill you on the offensive end, but he's also gonna try to shut you down. You know what I mean? So people don't understand. Listen, I was a fan within the game. You know what I mean? Right. But he wasn't gonna know that. No question.
Absolutely.
Like we were gonna play hard and we was gonna go at each other. And that's how it was.
Okay, I got one last question. Okay, go ahead. We're here with six-time NBA All-Star Mitch Richmond, 5-time All NBA team, 1989 Rookie of the Year, and 2002 NBA champion with the Lakers, and you got inducted into the Hall of Fame 2014. Right. So, being that you just mentioned one of these guys that I'm going to ask you kind of the difference between, you mentioned Michael Jordan. You played in that era, played against him, and so you played on the championship team with Kobe. You being an NBA player, you saw both.
Right.
In your best way possible, can you tell us and our listeners? Can you give me a little something and share with me and Hatch? Like, what is the difference between those two? Because everybody has said that they're so eerily similar. I was just watching just something on Instagram. They were showing some highlights and they had some computer generated technology where they had Michael doing moves and then Kobe was doing the exact same thing. Right. They basically said if you just put on different jerseys or whatever, you wouldn't be able to tell who was who. Right. So in your estimation, in your best way, give us a little something that you feel like was a little bit different, what made them so great.
The only thing different I can say, because Kobe patterned his game. Everything he did was behind Michael Jordan. And so for me, in a little context, I would say the difference between them is their names. That's it. Right. Jordan, you know what I mean? Because Kobe wouldn't even tell you when he was playing that he was looking at Michael Jordan tapes. You know what I mean? He wouldn't tell you that he was talking to Mike. He wouldn't tell you all those things. You know what I mean? Right. Because he was really looking at Michael as, hey, I want to be like him. He did the tongue, he did the hand, he did all of those things like Michael. I think maybe the difference, I don't know what the difference is. I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying, Michael, no doubt about it, he's the man.
Greatest.
No one can ever top what he had done. And even the things that Kobe has done, and I put him up. Listen, I put him 1 and 2. I don't put him above. I just
exactly. Everybody just overlooks. Everybody overlooks his body of work, and they just want to just put LeBron into that category.
LeBron's not in that category.
Oh no, it's just a different because I'm a LeBron fan too, but it's a way that you have to go about and put LeBron, in a category. LeBron was like Michael. LeBron, you could put in the category. He's in his own category. He's in his own category because of the things. He's not a scorer, but he's probably end up one of the leading scorers in this league that's ever seen. He can assist. He's strong. He's mentally.
I say LeBron
is the thing that was kind of like early in his career that he was really not solid on his mental capacity.
Right. I just said when they talk about comparison, I'll say what LeBron has to nod in over MJ and Kobe's like he's the best. He's the best athlete.
Yes.
Basketball.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. 6'8", 245.
And has not. I mean, this guy has not gotten hurt.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so he's a freak athlete, and that's what you said. You put him as like the best athlete, but you talk about mentally strong.
Michael.
First of all, I got to find out what was Mike. I think Mike. I texted him, and he was drinking that. I got to get back with him because when
that cognac.
He was drinking that what is that tequila? That's his tequila he was drinking. Boy, he was.
That was some yak. That was brown. That
was he was telling it all.
Telling it all.
That was that
telling
truth
it all.
Serum, boy. He was drinking that truth serum, boy. He was letting it flow.
I'm like, man,
with that 3-foot cigar.
Send me a case, man.
Oh, that good.
Yeah.
But no, we appreciate you coming on, Mitch, though, man. Like I said, talk a little basketball. Like, we're just trying to go ahead and keep everything positive. We know with COVID and the movement and everything going on out there, we're just trying to keep everything, up and just up positive and across the world, man. You know what I'm saying?
Before we go, who's your NBA champion for 2020?
Man, I'm gonna go with the Clippers.
They have it.
Hey, everybody's riding with the Clippers. So, do you think it's going to be a huge disappointment if they don't win this year? Because everybody is giving them the nod because of.
Well, I don't think it'll be a huge disappointment because I mean, they still got to go and do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they still got to go and do it. And the freak Greek, he ain't playing.
The Greek freak, Giannis ain't playing.
Boston has been playing very, very well.
Yeah.
So
Toronto's playing well. Yeah.
And so it ain't gonna be easy. I think the Lakers are a very talented team. I think they might have enough, but I don't know. They
need more.
They gotta have more.
Their bench, their depth is gonna hurt them.
They need guard play because when Clippers come off the bench, they coming with guards, bro, and they coming with guards that can
with points.
Yeah, they coming with buckets.
Lou, Jackson, Beverly. Yeah,
they coming with it. So. We'll see. But hey, you don't understand that we always do this. Us three, we don't do it. It's never a camera around.
Yeah, we go clown and we go have fun and we go bag. That's what we do, ladies and gentlemen.
I love it. Hey, Mitch, this is the most I've ever heard you talk.
I know. I don't talk. I know.
He's a mind.
Hey, I know the last time we used to run into each other, we had katana, we chopping it up, we having a good time.
Yeah.
It's always good fellowship, man. So, man, again, like I said, man, we appreciate you. I know I have, just to kind of get in the basketball mind of you, because like I said, I've admired you from afar. We haven't really talked about that. Yeah, especially when you talk about Run TMC. I used to hear about you guys all the time. They're being in the Bay Area. Like I said, I used to come to some of those games. I used to be I was up in the nosebleeds. But yeah, man.
He's a rookie. You was a rookie. You didn't get no good tickets.
No doubt, man. Appreciate you guys, man. Always, man. It's always good to get together, man. Always,
Already. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. NBA Hall of Famer Mitch Richmond on Getcha Popcorn Ready podcast.
Right.
Peace.
See you, man. See you guys.
All right, Stitches. I'll holler at you.
Brother. Okay.
Yeet. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Mitchell Richmond. He get mad when I call him Mitchell.
Mitch gonna get you. He gonna strangle you, dog.
I'm gonna strangle him back for trying to say you was a better hooper than me. But we gonna let that lie. We gonna let that lie.
Hey, man. the basketball minds and the basketball gods know, man. It always shines through on the Getcha Popcorn Ready podcast. You know, you, bro. Hey, let me tell you something. You should have gone into to being an attorney, bro.
Wow.
You should have gone because you're
I'm not an athlete anymore.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you've been. I guess I wouldn't even say you'd be a great defense attorney, but you're always going to ask a different question, thinking you're going to get a different answer. It's not going to happen.
Okay, let me ask you this: 10 shots. If me and you put up 10 shots,
I'm going to win.
You're going to make more shots than me.
Yes, I'm going to win. Yes.
You can't shoot.
What are you talking about?
Shoot.
Oh my gosh. But there's a lot of people that can't shoot, but they can play.
You can play, but you can't shoot. Would you agree with that statement? Yes.
Everybody goes through that moments. You know, Kobe is going through that. LeBron, MJ. We've all done it. You know?
You're not part of that group. We've all
been through that, dog. You just haven't really entered that realm of our ability. Greatness
realm.
No, you're not one of those yet. But you keep going. I mean,
hey, I'm in the Hall of Fame. I ain't listening to y'all.
Maybe by our 81st episode, maybe you will get into that category. But we're far. Yeah,
I got a long way to go. I'm $1 billion away from $1 billion.
Right.
So let's talk about our 3 and Out segment regarding Mitch Richmond, NBA Hall of Famer. I think one thing for number one. Like you said,
I got a good one.
What you want to start with?
My number one, and it came towards the end of the podcast, was that he said he wore Jordans while playing the same era against Jordan. Like for me, that just paid so much homage and respect, to like who we all know in any estimation is the greatest basketball player of all time, in Michael Jordan. So that I thought that was really cool. Especially him being who he is. Accomplished what he's accomplished. Now, like I said, you talk about the different eras and time periods in which guys played in. I didn't really see that happening because I mean, you think about the guys that had shoes. I know notably.
Not a lot at that time.
Dominique Wilkins, he had the Brooks. You remember those?
Yeah.
The Brooks, I had
Magic and Larry Bird had shoes out. The Converse.
Yeah, what I mean. But I didn't really peep guys' shoe game out like that, as if other guys were wearing their shoes, and I just thought it was just them wearing their own shoes.
Right.
But now everybody wears everybody's shoes now.
Yeah, but for him to do that back then, it's respectful. But again, like you said, it wasn't nothing to be said on the court about it. We go compete while I'm out here. But I'm just gonna have your
shoes or not.
Right. Hey, I'm gonna give you every bucket I got. You know what I'm saying? So. I think the second one for me was when he, again, how we always discuss, it's the journey, it's the process. And a lot of kids that listen to the show as well got to understand, like, when he went to visit Houston and he saw Olajuwon and Clyde Drexler, and they came out the tunnel and they were just bigger, faster, stronger. And then he got to watch him play up close. He was like, yo, I'm not ready yet. You know what I'm saying? I got to do something to get my game ready, and I'm not there today. I'll get there in a couple years, but today I'm not ready. Changed his whole perspective on being ready for college basketball.
Right. That little scenario, how he described it, like, especially, how hype it is, going to like a top basketball game, top football games, high school, just the crowd, the energy, that atmosphere, the popcorn, the burgers, you got Cokes. And then I literally, when he explained that, I'm envisioning him standing like maybe in the tunnel somewhere or courtside, and he's watching these guys run in. I'm like, man,
eyes just getting big.
Right. Right. Just think if he had committed, he probably wanted to decommit.
Right.
I'm ready for this.
I ain't ready. But again, that's the process. And again, I think the third thing that we try to get into a little bit about the business of professional sports, and he got to discuss it regarding when he got traded, how he was he went down to his the head coach and general manager at the time, Don Nelson, hotel room, and says, please tell me you didn't trade me to the Sacramento Kings. And Don Nelson goes, I trade you to the Sacramento Kings. Because as a player, we always think we have leverage and we have all this power. But again, the organization, especially when the head coach is a general manager, they're going to do what's best for their organization. There's always that butting of heads between athlete and administrators in an organization.
Right. Yeah, well, so crazy. I like to follow up with that. You know, he was saying that he didn't want to be, you know, he asked Dunn about who was the best one on the most valuable on the team. And he said Larry Bird. He was
Chris Mullins. He said Chris Mullins.
Oh, yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
The other white guy.
Right, exactly. To piggyback that, he said he went to Dunn. He's like, okay, well, who's the best? Who do you think is the best player on the team? And he said Chris Mullin. So he's like, okay, well, who's the second best? So if he thought he was the second best and he's getting paid 3.1, okay, pay me 3 then.
There it is.
He wasn't trying to allow him to prove himself, but as Mitch said, he didn't say that he wanted to be traded. He wanted to prove himself.
Right. And again, the business of professional sports, right?
Yeah.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate the guest, Mitch, for coming on. NBA Hall of Famer. Right? That's it. We got NBA, got NFL Hall of Famers. That's what we do right here on Get Your Popcorn Ready podcast.
Yeah, no doubt. Keep it locked. Stay tuned. Subscribe.
Swipe up. Sharing is caring. Peace.
Okay.